Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Pali Center practice, Powertime practice. And it is wonderful to come together during the start of this fabulous month of spiritual energy coming into the earth plane from the cosmos. So it is Saturday, July 18th, 2020. My name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me, and wishing you all a very warm welcome. And welcome especially to those of you who are new to Dr. Ply's teachings and also to this weekly program that we are happy to share and guide you with the latest and greatest teachings and events that have been happening with Dr. Ply's in the moment, spontaneous download from the divine that he loves sharing with us. So last night we experienced a beautiful fire lab. You can check that out on Facebook, or if someone is here from Ply Center, please go ahead and post that link so that when we come off this call, those people who would love to join or to watch the recording, they can do so. So what it was honoring the kickstart of the Power Month of the Goddess. So it's called Adi is the month. And then the goddess is so powerful this month. So there are 5 Fridays where you can tap into the energy of the goddess. And Dr. Ply is bringing in very powerful archetypal beings. So what is the goddess energy? What is an archetype? These are the questions that we ask ourselves again and again, because it's not on an intellectual level. The goddess is wisdom. The goddess is energy. The goddess is power. So the mind has to be out of the way. It can't figure it out. And the best way to honor the goddess is by doing your chanting, meditating, honoring the goddess in you, cleaning up your space or clearing out clutter in your house or in your car or at your office or anywhere in your life, in your inbox, in your bank, in your finances. We want to clean things up. We need to clear things up. We need to experience that energy of release of all those worries and anxieties or memories that we hold on to items. When we hold on to items, we hold on to the memory of it versus doing anything with it. When we let it go and send it off to be recycled or to be reused, where someone can really make use of it and honor it and enjoy it, we hold on to it, and then we kind of get stuck in the past. And then we wonder, why can't we move forward? So it's not that you have to get rid of everything. It's just a really powerful time that the goddess will be able to, you'll be able to align with the goddess, and the goddess will be able to speak to you in ways that you haven't been able to hear her. And it can be through the energy that's moving around in your space. So you definitely will feel it if you decide to pick up some stuff and clear out just a corner of something or a drawer even. And throughout the whole process, pay attention to what your thoughts are and pay attention to what your memories are. Pay attention to what your emotions are. And then you will see just in that small activity that there's a tremendous amount of history going on. And then there's a tremendous amount of release once it is all cleared out. And then you feel better. You start to realize, oh my goodness, I've been holding on to these memories. I don't even need them. They're not me. So then we will feel like, I can breathe. So doing our mantra practice while we are doing that kind of decluttering our space or whatever it is that we have chosen to tackle, then we will see what the goddess is revealing to us about the situation that we keep ratcheting over and over and over in our mind. So we think about 35 to 50 thoughts a minute. What? When is there ever peace? For about 10 seconds a minute. So it's no wonder, especially during these uncertain times during COVID, it's no wonder we cannot feel clarity. It's no wonder we feel all this emotion coming up to the surface. And it is the goddess month is all about allowing it to come up to the surface, finally releasing it, getting at those things that you've been procrastinating about. Because again, she is energy, she is power, she is wisdom. And Dr. Ply shared that he's doing these fire labs because, for one, there's so much anxiety for so long, and we're shut in, we're repressed, we're oppressed, we are immobilized. Some people have lost so much in their life in such a short period of time, and it's shocking. So we're kind of like, we're stunned in all of this, and we're stunted in our expression of our free selves. Now we have to walk around with masks on, which are very important. However, it's very difficult to even breathe behind the mask, or to speak, to communicate with one another effectively. So there's this hesitation in our flow of energy physically, and also mentally. We're kind of being robotic about it. We're just looking for where we need to stand on the X or on the feet that are marked in the stores or the banks or wherever we're going out in public, depending on what phase of this situation that you're in as per your country rules or your city rules. So we are looking for something, some sign to tell us, okay, this is what you do now. This is what the new normal is. Or as I received a message today, this is what the new abnormal feels like. It doesn't feel right. It feels off. And then what is normal? And we all know very well on the spiritual path, we've been experiencing that. What is the reality? What is it to be normal? What is it to be abnormal? So when we start to inquire about these, especially during these dark times, dark meaning that people just aren't able to be intelligent about what it is they need to do next. They're walking around like zombies, or like so frozen in fear. They can't even remember the last time they laughed, the last time that they were able to have a conversation with a loved one without expressing anger, frustration, fear, and so on. So there are so many free services that are offered through Ply Center and Acervet, and we are always encouraging everyone, please do something every day, even if it is listening to Dr. Ply chanting a mantra on the YouTube. And it doesn't matter which mantra it is, because what is mantra? Mantra means, or mantra means, to protect the mind. From what? From being bombarded by energy that is not even a thought yet. It's energy going ping, and then you're like, why am I thinking this? Where is that coming from? Why do I feel this way? So the goddess will go in there and she will clean it up. She'll point to it. And it will be, as some people have shared in the various programs offered through Ply Center Academy, is that all this stuff is coming up to the surface, and they know that it is because they are immersing themselves in their spiritual practice. And we only see really clearly, all the light is shone on our situation when there's the exact opposite. So when these dark times are happening, that's where we see very clearly. It's not that we go and grope in the dark. We actually need that contrast to see, oh my God, I cannot go down that road. It's too dark. So I'm going to go over here. And when we do that, it's not physically shifting, although you might do that as well if you're in a sticky situation, or in a situation that, you know what, it's taken COVID to help me to get out of this job. I am not going to put up with this anymore. I used to just think superficially about it, but it is really sucking the life energy out of me. So people have been sharing that they're sending out so many job applications, and they are getting callbacks and interviews, because there are a lot of people who don't want to go back. They don't want to go back to that particular job. So it's like the divine is shifting things such that what wasn't so fabulous for someone, it's wonderful for the next person. So it's like we're shifting the consciousness. We're not feeling that we're being stuck in the same old, same old. And it can be relationships as well. Things can get stirred up intensely, and then you're just stop and you go, what the heck is that all about? So the goddess will heal relationships. She's going to give you intelligence, wisdom, and with that, there is a tremendous amount of creativity. So you'll find a way out of your sticky situation. Relationships are going to be healed, or you're going to come to terms with something that just doesn't work anymore. So we won't throw the baby out with the bathwater necessarily. We will explore ways in which we can find some common ground. It's not about fixing anything that is broken. Everything in life is broken right now. It's all topsy-turvy. So who's to say that that's normal or abnormal? It is what it is. So the goddess is going to help us to find a way out of the way we have been approaching the interactions with each other, the way we've been approaching ourselves, the self-talk. And then when we hear ourselves speaking about certain situations or people or events in our lives, we really will feel the goddess going, do you really think that? Do you really want to go and act that out again and again and again, just because you're right, or you think the other person is right, and then you're going to go into low self-esteem and unworthiness. And so either way, it's the ego that is just going to be really put into check. It is going to, the goddess will create this intelligence inside of you that says, I can't do this anymore. I can't be this way, because if I am on a spiritual path and this is the month of the goddess, and I can experience the goddess power and energy every day, then I am the goddess. I have the ability to shift whatever I'm doing in that moment, not because I'm doing it, it's because I'm inviting the goddess in, and the goddess will make things to be more fulfilling, more rewarding, and you will dive in so deep into your internal being and experience compassion, levels of compassion that you never have been able to before, or you never even thought that you were ever going to go there, because you already thought you were a pretty compassionate person. So we will all be challenged with that exact opposite of that which is going to help us to go deeper into our Kundalini energy, the goddess within. So the way out of every sticky situation is going to be the way in. So how we express ourselves, our communion with the goddess during this month can be through, again, chanting mantras, meditating, get into a stream of consciousness. That's what meditation is. Meditation is always happening. It's always there. Always, always, always. There's energy all around. There's power all around. When we tap into it, then we go, oh, I'm meditating. Who's meditating? You're just allowing yourself to be present to the goddess coming from within. That energy that rises from the base of your spine gets that fire going in your belly. It gets your heart racing, your heart rate racing. Someone was saying, Sutrita, I have trouble chanting out loud because I can feel my heart pumping so fast and so hard. And I said, well, what do you think it is? Is that the mantra? Is the mantra doing it? Absolutely. So the mantra protects the mind. That's all it does. The mantra is the being. The mantra is the being, just like you're a human being. I'm a human being. We're all human beings here on this earth plane. And we are being something or another at a different point in time, accordingly or appropriately, depending on what the situation is and how we have learned to express ourselves, use our emotions wisely, our words wisely, and so on. So we're being something. naturally. And whether that's right or wrong, it's up to the Dharma. And also, the Dharma right now is to invite the goddess in. And she's not going to be so friendly right off the bat. She's going to be busy working, just like we are when we are doing something and we are creating something. We're working on a project, or we're working in the house, or doing something at work. We need to focus. And if someone interrupts us, we're just like, excuse me, I am busy right now. I need to. So she can be like, hey, enough of that. I am focused here. I am busy. I need to work and I need to focus and get this done. I need to concentrate. We can't go and play all day long. We can't go and do all this complaining all day long, because that's not going to help to create. It's actually creating opportunities for the creative energies to go out and be destroyed, aka sabotage. So we will look at our lives and see where we are doing this self-sabotage, where we are going along on our spiritual path. We're experiencing these wonderful, blissful high moments. And then we come off of a mantra practice or a meditation, or perhaps we do a ritual, or we participate in services that are offered through Ply Center and Astrovet, and we feel that connection so deeply. It's like we got run over by a truck, because a tremendous amount of energy and power comes in to those rituals, even if they're done thousands and thousands of miles away from where we are. It's done at the level of the soul, and the soul starts to explode this energy inside of us, and the Kundalini gets rocked and heated up, and we're just like, whoa, what just happened to me? So some people have expressed that they feel dizzy, that they feel like they're agitated, that they feel totally blissed out one moment, and then the next moment they feel completely drained. So that's what the goddess is doing. She's going to help us to experience what it is when the Kundalini energy gets going through the chakra system and gets going through our brain and our nervous system, and starts to channel the energy to create. That's what she wants. She wants you to create a new destiny. And it's not something that's going to happen down the road. We want it now. As Swamini Valley, one of the Ply Center teachers, shared with us during our Mystery School 2019 reboot class today, that she was quoting Dr. Ply, we want it now. We need to have, not living in the now as a philosophy. We're demanding our little ego self, full of all the karma, and then all that illusion, that Mayic force that pulls our senses here, there, and everywhere. We're looking here, we're looking there. We're busy eating. We're busy listening to stuff that is not really serving our highest good. We're doing things with our bodies that our energy is going down. It's being wasted. We're wasting our resources, our money, our relationships. Are all wasting away the energy. So we want now. We want what we want now. And it's not about the ego. It's about us saying, hey, if I am communing with the goddess and I'm connecting with the goddess, I need her to do blank, 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 whatever it is. So right now, even when you're experiencing all these thoughts coming up to the surface, what is it that you really want now? So during this call, just write down what your intention is for you to see something about your relationships, your health, your well-being, your ability to go after what you want as according to your job or your business pursuits, what it is that you need to do to move forward with your projects. Dr. Ply shared last night during the Fire Lab, we need to have fun again. We need the goddess to come in and get those projects done that have been put on hold by the situation. We can never be victims when the goddess is there. When the God is there, but we're really experiencing the energy of the goddess and then bringing up that feminine energy inside of us, whether you're a female or a male, the gender, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you connect with the goddess, you feel her. So it's not a thinking thing. We want to get out of those 35 to 50 thoughts and don't add more thoughts about spiritual stuff. We want to reduce the number of thoughts, reduce even the observation of what is going on during a chanting practice, during a meditation, during a time where we come together and people are sharing their experiences, and then we're having these aha moments, or we can totally relate, and that reminds us of what we're going through or what we have gone through and how we can help and inspire others. We're adding to that thinking process. Not that that's a bad thing. We want to do that. We want to inspire everyone. So what is inspiration? Inspiration is allowing that to be revealed in the space of when we all come together. So the sharing and the caring that we do when we come together during Powertime practice is all about honoring that Kundalini energy, honoring the goddess inside of us. So what I'd like to do for everyone here, since this is the kickstart of the Adi Vali, the 5 Powerful Fridays of this month ahead, starting yesterday. It was Friday in Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and Dr. Ply kicked off that kicked off the ceremony of honoring the goddess with that fire lab that you can check out on Facebook. So what we like to do is to honor the goddess through a meditation that we're going to do. And also wanted to remind everyone or talk a little bit about Naga Chaturthi and Panchami. So it is a 48-hour power time to remove snake curses. So this, again, this Adi month is the kickstart of 6 months of very high energy, spiritual energy. And what does that mean? Well, there are events going on in the cosmos every year. Just like we have different celebrations, depending on what tradition, what culture you're from, what religion you're from. There are celebrations of these divine events, and they're repeated over and over and over again every year since whenever they began. So why do we do that? Because there's something that opens up in the cosmic realm of things, in the spiritual realm, where all these divine beings hang out. And so this Adi month is starting the downward or the southern transition or movement of the sun as it's going through the signs, from it entering into Cancer a couple of days ago, and then it will complete its 6-month journey in December. So this is the 6 months of this downward transition or downward traveling. It reminds us to go down into ourselves, into the root chakra, the lowest chakra, the root of who we are, the ability to remove anything that's causing survival anxiety and plant the seeds using the mantras. The mantras are called there are mantras that have seed sounds, or bija in Sanskrit. So bija means it's a seed. And just like the seed, seed of an oak tree has the oak tree in it, the seed, you can be carrying seeds of these mantras inside of you, and they will grow and grow and grow into these huge, majestic trees or beings of consciousness within us. So this consciousness is really powerful. And when it gets into the nucleus, that powerhouse inside of each of our trillions of cells, inside of that is the DNA, and the DNA, the nucleotides, those are what will need to be transformed or transmuted. and then the DNA, the genes of who we are, anything that isn't serving us, that we've inherited from ancestors, it's going to be released, or it's going to be diffused. Any negative congested energy will just be falling off of us during these 6 months, because we need to evolve as humanity needs to evolve on the earth plane as it's moving through the heavens, through this lunar mansion, where we are being exposed to the Palladian energy, which is a healing energy. So the Palladians isn't just some star constellation. These are beings, and our Earth is going through this star constellation. It has been, it's hanging there. It's going through this rooting out of anything that's causing war, conflict, anxiety. That's why there's so much turmoil, because it's getting to this peak point in the evolution of all humanity, where the divine beings are saying, okay, we're going to let you get to a certain point where you're not going to blow up. And so what's going to happen is that Kundalini energy is going to get awakened. And it's going to be a little scary for some people who don't have a clue, but the divine will be helping them to get on a spiritual path. Perhaps they will come and join Dr. Ply's journey with everyone here as well. So there are no right or wrong paths. You're just here because Dr. Ply, at the level of the soul, we've had some sort of contract with him in previous lifetimes. We remember it. And then we are familiar with it. Somehow we got here. And then we continue to explore the teachings. Some people come and go. Some people stay for a long time, and probably forever, because there will be that point in their journey that they will just say, this is it, I'm in the zone. So that's what you do with the master. You get in the zone, and then he begins, or she begins, to empower you to come out of all the harms and hurdles that the planet, that you're going through as an individual and collectively as a human being. So these power times that are really important for us to hang out with and to absorb those energies, to pay attention to them. There is this right after Adi Amavasya. Maybe I'll talk about that, because Adi again is this month between mid-July to mid-August. Amavasya means new moon, and I shared about that last week. In order to summarize again and repeat that the new moon is a really powerful time during this Adi month to get rid of curses from our ancestors that we've inherited from our ancestors. So we talked about how to do that. You can participate in the services that are offered through Apply Center and Ashravet, or you can be doing your Tarpanam practice and then praying for your ancestors. And we've talked a lot about that as well. And there are lots of different versions of Tarpanam. There's videos out there on Ply Center. Dr. Ply has shared about them, and the Ply Center teachers have also done demonstrations with, including myself, with the Tarpanam offering. So you can find out how to do that, and that is coming up on Monday if you're here in Eastern Daylight Savings Time, new moon time. So depending on where you are in the world, you can go on to Ashravet and grab on the Hora Watch, and that's a great app to have, or you can check it out on the Panchang when the new moon timing is for you. And then during daylight hours, so what does that mean? Between sunrise, so the moment the sun rises, and before the sun sets, wherever you are in the world, during that period of time, you can continue to offer the Tarpanam and pray for your ancestors, because it won't matter how much spiritual practices we do, how long we've been on a spiritual path with any teacher or teachers in our lifetime. It can be decades, and we are wondering, why am I not benefiting? Because we need to get the blessings of the ancestors. And it makes sense, because our ancestors are not only our biological ancestors. Our ancestors are those masters, those spiritual masters, or even gods, angels, divine beings who have gone before us. And then they have said to us in previous lifetimes, okay, there's going to be a time where you're going to be doing a lot of spiritual practices over your lifetime. And then there will be a time where you will find out about how to honor us so that you can remove those curses from those type of gurus or gods that you learned from in previous lifetimes and you disrespected. So it's always very strange when we find out through a naughty reading or a Vedic astrology reading that we have curses coming from not only our ancestors, but also through the spiritual lineage. And so, how can you find out about that is where your Rahu and Ketu are. So, Rahu and Ketu are these north and south nodes of the moon, respectively. So, Rahu is the north node of the moon, Ketu is the south node of the moon. There's a mythology around it as well. But what happens is those two energies impact the way we think. And the way we think is based on our karmas. So the Rahu and Ketu energies will tell us where we have left off in a previous lifetime, and we need to atone for whatever it is that we're doing. So wherever those two planetary influences are in your chart, then you will see the area where we need to make improvements with, or where we've had so many difficulties with. So Rahu and Ketu represent the head and the tail of the snake, and it's a bit poisonous because we don't really know how to bring those two energies together, how to reconcile them together. And some people will have a placement of Rahu and Ketu where they are in sort of this really intense energy. So and it indicates that there is, it's called, just going down here. Someone knows what it is. Kalasarpa. Yeah. So the Kalasarpa yoga is when all the planets in your chart are hemmed in, meaning they're all on the side of the chart, inside of where Rahu and Ketu are positioned. So Rahu and Ketu are always 7 houses or 7 signs away from one another. So if all of the other planets are over, they're not moving over that line, that diagonal line in the chart, then that means you have a very intense life. You have a very intense, a powerful life if you are using your power for good. So people will who have Kalasarpa yoga, it's a tough one, because you think, well, I have all these great ideas and I can see things and I know things, but you may not be liked by people and people can be cursing you. So it's a bit of you can do a lot in your life. You can do a lot of good with it as well, as long as you know how to use that snaky energy and reconcile it. So, but most people have the Rahu and Ketu in places where they see that where the ancestors from the maternal side of the family and the paternal side of the family will reveal to you a curse that perhaps your ancestors in some generation removed, that is gone before. Remember, ancestors are people who are dead. They are no more. Even if your grandparents are alive, they're not your ancestors, or great grandparents are alive. They're not if they're alive, they're alive. If they're passed away, they are your ancestors. So this when we honor Rahu and Ketu, then we are actually honoring our ancestors. So Naga Chaturthi and Panchami come 4 and 5th, the 4th and the 5th moon after the new moon during Audi month. So this is also known as Garuda Panchami, Naga Panchami. Panchami means 5, Chaturthi means 4. So this Naga Chaturthi, Naga Panchami is also known as Garuda Panchami. And it's a very special 48-hour power time dedicated to the invocation of Naga snake gods. And Nagas, or snake gods, are very powerful mystical beings. and they are in the form of these snakes. So maybe the ancestors had farms or logging camps, or they were in the army or the during wars, and then they killed snakes, or they were in the jungles and they killed snakes. So, and they did it in a way that they didn't honor it. So they just did it unconsciously. So that is a curse by the snake, because the snakes are known as these mystical beings. So they have the power to cast or remove curses. So that's the good thing. The snaky thing is that it can either poison you, or it can raise you up to this level of a very powerful position in life. So this festival is very auspicious to seek protection from snake afflictions from your previous births, and also from your ancestors that you inherited. So it invokes serpentine blessings for the well-being of your children. Now, those people who are just like, whoa, I don't know if I believe in this. Well, just look at the different cultures, the different traditions, even in the medical symbol, the caduceus, you'll see the two snakes. They're going up the rod, and that is representing the Kundalini energy going up the Sushumna. So that thin tube of light that we focus on when we do meditations, that gets us into that power and that energy of ourselves, because we're imagining it piercing the chakras that are stacked up on top of one another on the spine. So that rod of light is the rod, or that staff of health and well-being. And then the two snake images going up, or the Ida and Pingala, those two meridians that are going around, weaving around each of the chakras as they're going up. And there's lots of different images. You can Google that as well, and just to see what resonates with you and gives you insights if you feel like doing that. But this snaky energy is not something outside of us. It's inside of us. So we want to honor the ancestors and get their blessings for the overall well-being of our children, our family, and prosperity for all. So on these days, Naga Chaturthi, Naga again, snake, and then Chaturthi is fourth, Panchami is fifth. It's common to offer fresh eggs and milk to snakes that are in these ant hills. So you'll see these ant hills in India, and they always say, hey, and they're huge. They're these big, huge, they look like sand castles actually, or sand structures. And they have the serpents are in there, the snakes are in there. And then the serpent images in silver, stone, wood, or flour, rice are bathed in milk and invoked for the blessings and protection. So it's believed that your sincere prayers to these snake gods during these 2 power days of the year can help in reducing the intensity of doshas or afflictions. So dosha is the Sanskrit word for affliction. So we want to get rid of that, whatever is afflicting us, whatever is causing problems for us. So, and it's created from either killing snakes in previous births, or preventing danger from poisons, chemicals, allergic substances, overcoming addictions. That's another thing. What happens in your life is you see, okay, family members or you yourself have some sort of addiction, and you know it. You're either addicted to sugar, you're addicted to food, eating too much food, you're not ever satisfied. So again, this Rahu that doesn't have a body, it's the head of the snake. It doesn't have a body, so it just takes in and takes in and takes in. It's never satisfied. And so it feels like you're never going to be fulfilled when you take in food, or you smoke, you take in so much smoke into your lungs, or drugs you take in, or you take in a lot of alcohol, because you're never full, you're never satisfied. But what happens is your physical being will expand and expand and expand and expand. So if you feel that energy of Rahu and you see it in your life, or you're taking in a lot of fear, or you're OCD, like a lot of people who have obsessive compulsive, they're always like, they're never satisfied. They always have to redo things. They always have to do, and they're so agitated. They just love the energy. Not that they love it, but they can't live without it. So that's what Rahu will do as well. And it can make you a little bit cuckoo-luckoo. You know, you just feel like, God, I know I'm doing this, but I can't satisfy this. I can't stop it. It's an urge that overtakes me, that overtakes my intellect. So that's how you will know. And then if anyone is suffering from an addiction in your life, such as a sibling or children or parents, and you see, oh, that happened with my aunts and uncles. Oh, wow, that happened on both sides. That happened in, 2 or 3 generations ago, where it destroyed the family, it destroyed the finances, it destroyed the legacies. So that's where the curse kind of comes in, is that it looks like it's just whatever is happening with the world. But then if it goes on and on and on for years and years and years, it harms the people. And so those kinds of afflictions can be removed when you take a look at this Naga Chaturthi and Naga Panchami. Even if you read about it, even if you when you're doing your Tarpanam practice, that you say, please, please, please remove snake curses. I'm not sure even if I have it in my family, but I can see the patterns. And you truly, sincerely go inside of yourself and you'll feel your Kundalini, you get heated up. And that's how you will know, oh my goodness. So anyone who has been killed by a snake, a snake bite, or they have been, kind of snaky in their way of being cunning and smothering. Like there are people who say, I can't help myself. I'm just smothering my child. I'm hovering over them. I'm not allowing them to grow into their own lives. I just want to overprotect. That's kind of snaky energy too. And then as the kid grows up into an adult, it really rebels. And then the parent is like, oh my God, but I did everything for you. And the kid says, yeah, and I'm sick of it. So this poisonous kind of backbiting, bickering, and unexpected is what you can see. So you get get the idea that, whoa, it's pervading in the different areas of your life, or you can see it happening, maybe not in your immediate life, your personal life, but you can see it in the family. Once you start doing and honoring these snake beings, especially during this Adi month, during these 4th and 5th days after the new moon, then you will see every year, oh my goodness, things are getting cleaned up in the rest of the family. So people who seek relief from illusionary fears, they're always looking, like, not in a paranoid way, but they just don't trust people. And if you can't trust people, what's going to happen? So trust is something that you'll either have or you don't have. You can't really fake it. So what happens is these imaginary fears come up, these suspicions, and you obsess over them. And yet you're like, no, I'm good. Everything's fine. And it's inside. So that's what I'm saying, is a way out of all this is going inside and feeling and being so truthful to yourself and saying, oh my goodness. So reading about this, even if you aren't going to participate in the paid services, read about it, because it is something that will wake up in you and you will feel it for real. So it's quite a lovely price point anyways, because it's once a year. So you're really giving a gift to yourself, to your lineage, because you can do it. That's something that can be done, that's easy because it's done on your behalf. And it's done in a way a surgeon would when you go and you need surgery. You're not awake for it. You don't know what's happening. And yet you need this surgery to be done. So once you come out of it, you feel the relief, and then the true healing begins. So there's a lot of different services, this chanting that goes on, all these sacred texts that are being acknowledged. And then you will understand how this Rahu Ketu energy is impacting your life. And then you will understand how to get rid of the fear of poison or enemies, or people who you feel like, oh, they just want something from me, or I always feel like I'm getting used, or why do they use me? Why do they come to me when they need something? And then they're mean to me otherwise. So all that is not really how you want to be in life, and yet that's how the life is. So we'll help these holy fire labs, these fire ceremonies will purify that energy that is congested around your soul. It's not allowing your soul to fully express itself as its God self, and to help you to be guided out of your situations. So the chanting of the powerful during that happens during these power labs, it will destroy the fear of poison, and also warding off evil forces and boosting your power. So people who have these curses and they're so snaky, and you can't even tell when you're running out of breath because you're just being suffocated, by the wrapping of the snake around you. So it's slowly, slowly squeezing the life out of you. So you will be free of that. You'll take a breath of air for the first time, a full deep breath. And then that will help you to feel victorious over the challenges that have been around for a long, long time, especially fear. If you can't put your finger on what you're afraid of, if you're afraid of everything, and that's why you have to be really honest with yourself and not cover it up. Well, you can, but eventually it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as you go along. So maybe somehow your soul has guided you to explore that kind of repression, or you're putting a lid on it, or shoving it in a closet, and those skeletons are getting like restless, and it's going to bust the door open. So you feel this anxiety that shouldn't be there. So these afflictions, there's hydration ceremonies, there's honoring the Garuda, who is this eagle type archetype that is the sacred vahana or vehicle that's associated with the god of fortune, wealth, happiness, and health, and well-being and protection, Lord Vishnu, and then also Lakshmi, his consort, who is the goddess of prosperity. And so you're honoring Lord Shiva as well, honoring the goddess. So goddess Durga is the one you can pray to come out of harms and hurdles that Rahu has been trying to trip you up with. And then she'll help you to get out of the debts. So debt consciousness, anything to do with problematic relationships, and oh my God, this is another lifetime deja vu, where it's like, why is this happening? But then you realize, oh my God, you have flashes. The goddess will show you these images or these memories, not even of this lifetime, but everything will start to be very crystal clear, will make sense to you why you're struggling in a problematic relationship. And then how to come out of it will be Durga, because she gets rid of fear, anxiety, depression, poisonous attacks in the ether, like psychic attacks. And because she has all these weapons, they're crazy weapons. And she just has a smile on her face, and she's committed to peace. So you will have, once you have peace of mind, you can do anything. So helps you to come out of poverty consciousness, scarcity consciousness, debt consciousness. So different power spots are going to be honored. And then there will be also hydration ceremony at power spots in Kerala, a very powerful place to remove these kinds of snaky energies. So donations are really important to do. So check out the write-up on Palai Center or Ashravet about this Naga Chaturthi and Naga Panchami. Ketu is the tail end of the snake, and Ketu is all about spirituality and how, because it doesn't have the head, it's just moving around. So if you feel like you've wandered around, perhaps there's an ancestor who they died, but before they died, they were wandering around. They might have even left the family. You might not even know about them until perhaps you go to a family reunion or a funeral or a marriage ceremony where all the different family members are there, and you just happen to speak to someone who knows about someone in the lineage who was mentally disturbed and they didn't want to be a part of society, be a part of the family, and then they just went off and no one went off after them to bring them back. Or if they did try, they would just end up running away again. So people who have mental illness, schizophrenia, that split in their ability to understand what the reality is can be due to this kind of curse. So if you have that in your family, or you even experience bouts of depression, please explore this. This is a very powerful ritual to do, and it is a very powerful service to participate in, not only for yourself, but for everyone in your family, because you can do it. You don't have to tell them. Whatever you do will affect everyone around you, because you share their genes, you share the DNA. So we need to spiritualize the DNA inside of us so that that energy, as Christ said, and all the masters, they said, just get it in you. And then it will spill over into everyone else. And those will be miracles, because they don't necessarily know that you are committing yourself. You're stepping into the spirit realm and you're getting your soul awakened. It's removing all that congested energy. So once it gets removed from you, it starts to have this ripple effect in the family life. So when you do it year after year, you can clean up so much addictions in your life. You can clean up so many problematic relationships where you can see maybe a pattern of maybe there's nobody who gets married in a lineage. Maybe it's following all the women in a lineage, or all the men in a lineage. Or maybe there are multiple marriages and so much problems and conflict and money loss and resources, and the kids are all messed up. Problems with children. Oh my God. People say, I don't know what to do. Do this, participate in this, and you'll start to see everything shifting with your kids. So, and you don't even have to say anything to them. It will just automatically, you'll start to see in that year. So coming around to the next year, Naga Chaturthi and Panchami, during this celebration, so 365 days later, you'll start to see throughout that whole year what's happening in your family life. You bring your attention to it and you just say, okay, I started here, and now let's see what's happening with addictions, what's happening with divorce, or problematic relationships, or problematic marriages, or problems with kids. People who have inherited things like cancer or diabetes, or those long drawn out and painful problems with health. Maybe it will be heart issues or cardiovascular problems. So those are like, they take a long time. They're silent but deadly. And so they come up all of a sudden like an attack. So those kinds of situations, you will see how it's been poisoning the body for a long time. And not only yours, but everyone in your life, or people in your life. Not everyone, but you will see some aspect of these curses being played out if you are impacted. And how can you find out if you're impacted? Is you can get a Rahu Ketu report. I would recommend a live astrologer consultation, because then you can have a conversation with the astrologer. It's real time. You get on Skype or a phone call, and then you speak about it, and you just go to the astrologer for that. And you say, okay, I want to find out if I have a snake curse, if I can do something about it, if I have Kalasarpa yoga. So you don't talk about anything else. You're going to talk about that, and it will reveal the problems in the finances, the health, the relationships, the job. You only get to a certain level, and you can never, ever be promoted. Why? You're smarter than the next guy. you're a gal, you're more educated, you have more skills, you have certificates, you have experience, but you don't get to go to that next level. It's that snaky, poisonous energy. Or you have hidden enemies. You know who they are, but they're snaky. And they got a smile on their face and they're like, okay, yeah, that's great. Okay, great. And then they turn around and they bite you. And then they make up stuff about you and it's so not true. Like, why me? So if you've had those experiences or there are times in your life where you see that or in your family's life, then please consider this. It is very, very important and it's once a year. So, and then why I'm sharing that is once you do it, participate in it, it's like all that stuff is very clear now. Oh my goodness. And then if you have a consultation with the astrologer and then they say, hey, participate in these services throughout the year, get these fire labs done. It's like when the surgeon says, okay, now you've had the surgery, but you've got to go and do these kinds of health and well-being activities. Go get your rehab. Don't just come off the table and then get no rehab. That's not going to be very good for you. You won't heal quickly and you also won't heal naturally. You won't be able to get into your natural flow of things because you're not helping yourself get the extra support that you need to come through that surgery and then get back into your new normal. So that's what it is that I wanted to share with everyone here. And it's perfect timing because we're going to get into our meditation. So if you would like to participate in the meditation, what you want to do is be closing your eyes and putting your attention internally. And you can imagine a reddish orangish light pouring down your legs into your feet and toes. And then this energy is associated with Ganesha, who is an elephant-headed being. He has a pot belly and he rides a mouse. That's his image or his archetype, the form. However, we're more concerned about the energy. So we want to feel something moving through the legs, right down into the feet, right into the ground. And then a release of heaviness or like swollen legs, something that makes us to feel stuck or moving slow. So we feel this being released. You can imagine particles of light just dissolving away, that heaviness or that swollen kind of feeling. You can be feeling heat, like you're burning that congested energy that's weighing you down. So reddish orangish light particles, or can be solid light or liquid that's pouring down into the feet and then back up. It's coming all the way back up the legs and moving around, swirling around, up and down. Feel the base of the spine, the tailbone area, the root chakra in the subtle body. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now imagine a ray of light shooting up your backbone, going through your brain, through your skull, up, 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 into the space, like an SOS, connecting you with the divine realms through this ray of light that's pierced all your chakras on the way up the spine in the subtle body. So we're calling on the divine to help us out, to straighten out the Kundalini energy, to release anything that is no longer serving us, and bring in the goddess so we can feel energy and power, heat, tingling, bliss. We'll activate the chakras with the sounds that will unlock the secrets of each chakra for you today. Base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, clear the throat. Move up to the middle of your brain, the third eye. Float back down to the base of the spine, also down the legs, into the feet. Feel the grounding energy of the earth element. Na, 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 na. Move up into the navel chakra, the abdomen, belly. Fill it with water. Cleanse the creative center with the water element. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest, also down the arms and hands and fingers. Set them on fire. She, 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 she. Move up to the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element, the subtle air or prana. Va, 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 va. Move into the two eyeballs. Keep them steady and still. Focus your attention on the brain, the whole brain. Connect with the ether, the Akash or space. Ya, 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 ya. Now imagine Dr. Ply appearing before you in a form you're familiar with or a light. He sends 3 rays of light into your eyes and into your third eye. From his eyes, his third eye, into your eyes, into your third eye. Lock on to these beams of light. Feel the eyeballs burning. Feel pressure in the middle of your brain, the third eye. Feel the energy, the empowerment. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Keep paying attention to your eyes. Observe whether you experience tingling or prickly feeling, burning. Imagine evil eyes being released from you. I feel it falling away from your eyes. Put your attention on your third eye, in the middle of your brain. Aum, Namah Shivaya. Feel the chakras moving the energy up to the third eye. Keep focusing on the third eye. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Feel the middle of your brain expanding, contracting, as if it's breathing in and out. The Kundalini energy coming from the base of your spine, through all the chakras getting enlivened, pushing the energy up into the middle of your brain, and the sounds of all the elements that are represented in the chakras, the secret of opening the third eye is being revealed to you. Om Namah Shivaya. You can chant out loud so you hear your own voice inside of the middle of your brain, your third eye. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Now go very slow. Om Namah Shivaya. Third eye. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Pay attention to what's going on in your third eye. Just be present. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Feel the third eye opening, a portal, a doorway to tremendous light. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Now, imagine a column of light pouring down from the heavens. It's touching the skull, tingling on the skin of the skull. The light is making the hairs light up, stand on end, tingling all around the whole skull. The face is tingling. This light begins to pierce through the skull and into the brain. Front of the brain, sides of the brain, middle of the brain, back of the brain. You're locked on to this column of light. and the brain. Arutparam Jyoti. Arutparam Jyoti. Tani Param Karanai. Arutparam Jyoti. Be still. Lock on to the column of light, entering your brain, holding you still. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Tani Param Karanai, Arutparam Jyoti. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Tani Param Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. The light pours down your face, inside of your head, into your neck, down your arms, your chest, your back, pouring through the organs, all the way into the pelvic region, down the legs, into the feet. Be still and receive the downpouring. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Tani Param Karanai, Arutparam Jyoti. The arms, the hands, the fingers are tingling. They're on fire. The whole body is fired up. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Tani Param Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Tani Param Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti. Aum, Om, Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace to the world. You can keep your eyes closed. Continue to enjoy the bathing of the divine inside of you. the energy and power of the goddess, the blessings from Dr. Pillai. And as you're coming back to yourselves, take a moment to acknowledge your body, mind, and soul for coming and getting the blessings, participating in the teachings of Dr. Pillai, thanking him for lighting up your path internally, and then also in the life. So slowly, slowly come back to yourselves. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. So thanks for joining those people who need to go. Have an amazing rest of your weekend, and happy Adi Amavasya, happy new moon. Make sure that you check out how to honor the ancestors and the goddess within you. And we will see you next Saturday, or perhaps in one of the programs that are offered through Ply Center. Might see in one of those classes. So those people are going to stay. This is part of the call where we can share our experiences on the chat, or you can ask questions. I'm just looking over at the chat. Nothing is lighting up. Is anyone there? I can see some people who are there. It's very strange. It's saying I'm not able to connect to the chat. Please try again later. Can someone just pop a note on the chat? Not really even sure if that's working. Very strange. Well, I have nothing to comment about, so perhaps we'll wrap it up. And then those people who have questions or you have shared experiences, you can definitely send them over to sutrita@flycenter.com or office@flycenter.com, and then share whatever it is that you wanted to ask about this Powertime practice or anything that we've shared about. If you haven't yet signed up for the newsletter, please go ahead and do that. And because then you'll receive the newsletter or the weekly emails that go out and tell you all about and remind you about these power times that are coming up, because we get caught up in our lives. It's the weekend, and by the time Monday comes, we're like, what was that we did? What was she talking about? So that will jump in your email box maybe around Monday night. And then you can, there will be links there as well that you can read about on all these different things that we talked about. Adi Amavasya, and then the Naga Chaturthi and Panchami, and the goddess, the Friday goddess Adi Vali Fridays, the power and energy of the goddess. So sorry I'm not able to access the chat. I'm not really sure why that is. However, perhaps that's just a sign that we should wrap it up, and have an amazing rest of your weekend and week ahead. We will see you when we see you next. Namaste.